We are here again today, and we thank the Lord for helping us through this day. And it is a nice time again meeting with you and sharing with you a lot of important lessons that you have to learn in this year 2023. And as you are always coming to this chat room, I believe that you are learning some new things. And today we're going to learn something very, very important also. And this one is indispensable. You cannot afford to miss this one today. You cannot. It is a must, and you must know it. And since we are going to somewhere, and the Lord is taking us to somewhere, and God is going to prosper us. He's going to bless us. He's going to bless the work of our hands. And a lot of finance and fund will be coming to our disposal. So we need to think on how to plan and how to spend, how to manage, how to save, and how to plan for the future. So in our today's discussion, of course, please, if you're not subscribed for my YouTube, please do it. Do it now. Do it now. And not only now, share it and then make comments. You can contribute. So today we're looking at personal and household budgeting. That means that we're looking at budgeting. How you as individuals or as a household can plan and budget for what you earned. Don't forget, someone said budgeting is not just for people who do not have enough money. It is for everyone who want to ensure that their money is enough. And that was made by Rositel Mojidi Wamambe. And he said that when we talk about budgeting, it's not just for the people that don't have enough money, but everyone who wants to ensure that their money is enough. That little salary is enough if you plan it well. That your monthly wages is enough if you plan it well. That your business money is enough if you plan it well. So that means that planning, budgeting makes you to be contented, to be satisfied with what you have. And I said, budgeting is a mirror that displayed your total income and total expenses within a period of time. You know what mirror do? Perhaps this morning, as you wanted to go out or go to office, you have a standing mirror, either the small mirror. You check up yourself whether you're well dressed. You look at yourself in that mirror, and that mirror will speak volume of you. It will show you where you have not dressed well because you have looked at the mirror. So budgeting is like mirror. A mirror your finances. It mirror your earning. A mirror your expenses. So at a particular period of time. And someone said that budgeting or personal budgeting is a control mechanism that helps you control what you have and how you spend it, and how much you can save and how much you can invest. Is that not interesting? I think it is. It is. It is a tool, it's a mechanism that will disclose to you how you can control what you have, how you spend it, how you save it, and how you invest it. That's budgeting, personal budgeting. It gives a template of displaying how you are going to manage what you earn. So, personal budgeting is a plan of income and expenses. Yeah, of course, sometimes we are so specific about what we are going to earn at the end of the month. But the other problem is, how are you going to spend what you are expecting? And it's the budget that helps you disclose and show you how you are going to spend it. The early you plan your spending, the better for you. You know, sometimes people make a lot of mistakes. What are the mistakes they make? The mistake is that they they plan spending when the money have entered into their hands, and that's very wrong. You don't plan spending when the money is in your hands. You plan your spending before the money comes. That's what we mean by budgets. It gives you what you estimated to spend in that particular item. It helps you to know what you are going to spend on that particular items. So you now itemize them and attach monetary value on those items. And then by the time you get into re-spending, you know whether you spend less or more. That's budgeting. So if you want to save, buy property, meet your need conveniently, and live a better life within your income, personal and household budgeting is the answer. It's a must. Now you are planning. You have the resources. So this personal budgeting enables you to spend your resources wisely while getting the value of your money. It will be unwise for you to collect your salary and then take it to the market without having a plan on what you are going to use the money for. And of course, I could assure you, you'll come back without buying anything reasonable and you will have wasted all your money. That's why that this training is very key. It's important. So you need to learn it. And you need to watch it. You need to listen to it. So personal budgeting will help you not to spend buying things you don't want, because you will structure and make sure that you reasonably and give attention whatever items you think is necessary. That's why sometimes we need to differentiate between needs and wants. Needs and wants. What you need and what you want. You must disintegrate it, you must explain it, you must spell it out. That not everything you want are needs. Budget will tell you, will explain to you, will disclose to you what are your needs, and then that will top your priorities lists. It will top your preference lists. The needs come first, then wants follow. You know, sometimes people don't know. In fact, they don't even think about that. Anything that comes to their mind, they want to spend. No, that is unwise spending. And this year, since you want to get to somewhere, and as God has prepared and planned for your progress and for expansion this year, these things we're discussing here is very key. It's important. So you must learn. So, Will Rogers says, too many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't want to impress people that they don't like. See, foolishness. You want to buy things to impress people that you don't even like. That's stupidity. That is nonsense. So, my dear, we're looking at this that you can start now. We're still in the month of January 2023. And perhaps today is 17th day of this month. You can sit down, look at the previous expenses, go through your memory lane. And some of us to write down, and those of that spend through our card, through our bank, you can extract your statements. Sit down, look at them, those items you spent money for. And in fact, it will even help you to know whether those things are actually needs or just wants. So you can choose any forms of personal budgeting. There are many personal budgeting. There are several rules that govern personals and households budgeting. Some scholars has come with some rules, budgeting rules or personal budgeting rules that one could follow. We have the following. We have 50%, 50, 30, 20 rules. We have 70, 20, 10 rules. We have 80, 20 rules. I'm going to take them one by one. Let's look at them. Now, the 50, 30 rules was the personal budgeting rules propounded by an American senator called Elizabeth Warren. I tried to look at economic situation of the people. I wanted to build their lives to help them know how they spend and how they planned for their spending. She now came out with the 50-30 rules. It means that your salary or your earning is 100% after you have deducted your tax. But let me say this to us today, especially some of us in the Christendom. After your tax, the next is for you to think of that which belongs to God. That is your 10%. So whatever thing you're going to spend now will be total income left after tax less your tithe given to God, and it's 10%. Now, after you deducted 10%, it means in reality that you are going to have about 90% of your earning to be spent. But they bracket it to be 100% after the 10% taken to God. Whatever thing that remains now, we call it 100% of your tithe. Of your earnings, of your salary, of your profits. Now, you want to plan and draw a budget with what you have. And you are going to use the rules or the principle of Elizabeth Warren, which say 50% of your salary, 30% of your salary, and 20% of your salary. What did Elizabeth said? He said that the 50% of your earnings or salary should go for your needs. Needs are those essential things or important things you need for living. I'm going to list them down as we go down. And then you look at those important things that you cannot do without them. Bring them in your 50%. And he said that the 30% will go for wants. 30% wants. What are wants? What you are desiring, which is, for example, you are thinking about funds, you are thinking about traveling, you are thinking about holidays, you are thinking about hanging out with friends, you are thinking about entertainment, you are thinking about subscriptions, and you are thinking about buying new clothes. Those are the things you can do without them. And so you can use your 30% and aim at that, while your 20% will be kept for saving and maybe paying some debts. That's what Elizabeth said. I think that's okay. If you look at that, if you want to use this word, there's a reason, there's an aim, the objective or advantage of using this. You may have more to just dabble with, to play with. 30% is too much for you to use for once. You can do without. You have some clothes to wear. You don't need traveling, you don't need holidays, you don't need some of the subscription. You can reduce your tariff, you can reduce your recharge card. Those are the things that comes here because they are not essential, they are not your needs. So you can use that personal rule or budgeting rules. Number two is what we call 70-20-10% rules. And this one was propounded by Sovi. And he said 70% can be for living expenses. That is the same thing with needs. 70%. It all depends. You can think of some things that are very, very essential that you cannot do without. Your transportation to work, your insurance, you talk about some bills to pay, you talk about electricity, you talk about you talk about food items, you think about those things that you need for a living. And instead, you can just use 70% of your earning or salary to focus or invest on those cost of living. But if you are going to use this, you discover that your saving will be very minuted and you may not be able to plan anything reasonable because you have shifted all for just consumables, things like the rents and the rest of the things, and you just put them there. So I don't think that you should go on this. And of course, I'm going to give you the next one. That if you're having investment mind, I want to buy some properties, some assets, then there is a rule that personal budgeting that you need to use. So he was saying that 70% will go for living expenses, while your 20% will be for repayment of loan. For those of us who collected loan, for those of us who like to borrow, and then you know that at the end of the month you should be thinking of paying part. You can't pay all, perhaps at the go, but then you should have a principle. You should have the modalities. You should have the models whereby you can pay this expense or to offset the money borrowed from individuals, or sometimes in your organization, sometimes in your company, cooperatives, or whatever thing, and then you need to offset them month by month until it is finally offset. So you say you can use 20% to be for that, then 10% could be used for saving. And you can see that saving here is reduced, is small. If you're using, of course, you need to do it even better than not having. So that means that you need to save 10%. And that 10% is for emergency, that 10% is for um, is for some, you are planning for investments, you are applying for one thing or the other in the future, and then you just set the 10% of that and keep every month. It is okay, because if you fail to save, you are not safe. So it means that you must factor saving in your budget. Very important and indispensable. Then the other one, the third one, which I may assume that it seems to be the one that we should do, although it's still the living expense is still on the high side, and that is what they call 80-20 rules. And this one was propounded by um, Phil Frido Parato, and he said your 80% can go for other expenses, while your 20% remain your saving. I still on the high side. So I want to encourage individuals who is aiming at getting something done in the future, and not just to put all his money on consumables and throw it off. You should be thinking, having your budget should actually give you a picture of what you want to be. And of course, depends on your financial goals. Whatever route you take or the types of budgeting you are taking depends on your personal financial goals. Whatever thing you are aiming at, whatever thing you want to achieve, will now determine which of these you need to take care of. So I'll look at the last one, that is what we call 50-40-10 rule. And this one, this budget personal budget system is even the best, and it depending on what you want to achieve. So this budget method is used if you want to buy some expensive things like property, like cars, like assets. This is the one you used. 50-40-10. You see that at this point, you've set your financial goals right, because you're aiming, either you want to buy a land this year, either want to buy a property this year, either want to start a business this year, either you want to get into, getting stocks or real estate investments, whatever investment you want to. That means that you will drastically reduce your living expenses and increase your saving. Now, in 50-40-10 rule, it means that 50% is meant for your needs. When we talk about needs, we are talking about those things that are necessary. They are a must, they're essential, they're important for living. You cannot do without them. Your rents, for instance, you know that you paid rents once in a year. And as the year begins, you have already started planning your rents by setting a certain percentage of your income or earning for the rents. So that comes in here. And not only that, the food products or the food items for your living is also important, but you can reduce it, minimize what you eat. You won't die because you're planning. Now, you look at the transportation, because you need to go to work. And since you need to go to work, and then you must set aside, of course, you've been going to work and you know how much you spend in a day or in a week to go to work to and fro. So you will set aside some money to meet that needs. What about health, which is very, very important? And by now, you should have known your health condition. And also, earmark some money in your budget for health. Should in case I have health challenged, this amount will go for health. You plan for that. And what about some maybe for example now you want to think of also how to offset some loan. You can equally use that 50% to take care of that. That take care of 50%. Then the 40% of that salary, of that earning, is meant for your saving. It means you are going to task yourself. You are going to drastically reduce your living expenses. I remember the other one say 80% for living expenses. The other one say 70% for living expenses. But here, you are tight. You are using 40%. And this 40% saved for you are you save it for emergency. You save it to build your savings for investments. That is kept for an emergency. It's also kept for buying some important assets. Not only that, you are planning of starting business. And don't forget that no bank or nobody want to give you money to start business when you don't have anything. So you need to task yourself to increase your saving so that you can have a startup. Use that to start a business. And not only that, if you are working, you're equally saving. Use that 40% for your retirement contributions. Because you will not work all through. It could be voluntary retirement. It could be age retirement. So you start planning. You know, these are the mistakes some of us have made. Because no one actually sat us down to show us this pathway, what we ought to do. Nobody tell us. But I see that we need it. That's why I brought it here in our chat center. So that you will not make mistake that some has made. They work 35 years at the age of 60, they retire with nothing because there was no plan. So you start now. Start now to plant. It might not be convenient. It might not be palatable. It might not be sweet. And you may feel that sometimes it might look as if you don't have anything left, but you must do it. So use that. And they said that that 40% will take care of that. Investment is there. Either invest in stocks, either invest in real estate, or whatever you want to invest. You can now shape that part and invest in a reasonable investment. And they now said, if you now use 50 for your living expenses, 40 for your saving to take care of all these nations, and he said that the remaining 10%, you can use the remaining 10% for your wants. And you know what? Entertainment, if you wish. If you want to go for holidays, if you wish. If you want to travel, if you wish. If you need some funds and you want to go for some picnics with your family, that should come from that 10%. And if you want to buy some new clothes, want to buy some new, what do you call some of those things that are not even important, you don't even need them. If you want to buy a recharge card, if you want to recharge your television, you want to subscribe, you can use this 10%. Sometimes you may not even need it. So at the end of the month, what do you do? The one that remain in this other percentage, you move them and push them to saving, to increase your saving. So for you to have a perfect and workable budget, personal budget, or family household budget, you must be very sincere with yourself. Some people are not sincere. And let me tell you, and tell all of us feeling this at this time and listening to me, that sometimes some of us we fake ourselves. You do yourself more harm than good. Because when it comes to budget, if you're not sincere, call a spade in budget preparation. Don't shade it. You know that this one they cannot do it. Don't bring it to budget. That is going to be amount to child play. So be sincere with yourselves. If you are, I want to think, if you have not been doing it and you want to start it now, just do what? Think about the items you spend money often. At first, you may not get it right when it comes to budget. You want to start now. It might look confusing. It might look complicated. It might look somehow. You might even get discouraged. My friend, don't discouraged. Call us. Don't feel that let me pack it up, continue the way I used to continue. No, it will not help you. But just do what? Some up courage. And do what? Start to build on it. Set up your financial goals aright. Categorize your expenses or spending. And maybe from today, as you're listening to me talk, start now. The next day, you want to spend. It won't take you time in either writing it down or just put in your phone's notes. So at the end of the day, you can just sit down to examine what and what to spend the money for. And because this will help you in starting your own personal budget. You will not be doing it. You want to do it. Start now. Look at your expenses. And of course, you know the expenses, those items you've been spending money on. What do you need to do? Go back on them. Think on how much for the past year or for the past month, how much I've been spending, how you've been spending on these things and these items. And that's a starting point. Start it now. Now, when somebody said, again, budgeting is not just for people who do not have enough money. It is for everyone who wants to ensure that their money is enough. That was said by Rosity. So, if you are able to follow us and then be able to start your budgeting this year, and we're still in the first month of this year, so it's not too late for you to start. Start building on. I'm telling you sincerely, this year, the Lord is taking you, is advancing you. And that's particular things you've been expecting to get, been expecting to buy, you are going to get it. So you need to belt up and tighten up your belts and then set to fly with personal and households budgeting this year. And when you do that, you're able to plan your lives. You know that budget is a plan of your own life. There are some of us that worked for many years because we didn't get the full of this detail. Nobody informed us. No wonder if you're not informed, definitely you're going to be deformed. And thank God we have enough of information today that you can use. Enough information. So you need to exploit. You need to use this info. You need to make use of them. And if you make use of them, I'm sure that getting to the end, even if within the middle of the year, when you look back and then you see your saving accumulated, you see your saving increasing, you will be happy. In fact, your joy, your happiness, your peace is also factored and enveloped in your budget. So you need budgets, personal budget this year. Start up, begin with it. But what you need to do is to visit this video, watch it repeatedly, listen to the speaker, ask questions. Let us know how we can help you this year. We can equally comes in to help you prepare your personal family budgets. For those of us that are doing business, and then at the end of the month, you are looking at your profits and you are thinking, this profit, then we can help you how to manage your profits. Subscribe. I say subscribe. Subscribe now to this YouTube. Share it. Comments. Thank you. Thank you very much for listening and also always having time to come to our YouTubes. This very soon we're going to have live chats, and I want you to get prepared because it's going to be explosive. It's going to be one of the best. So it's my pleasure to say thank you for coming. Check up again and enjoy it. Enjoy everything here is for you. Thank you.